Hey guys, we're on chapter 4 this week titled Learning Police Ethics. There are two competing views that seek to explain how police officers learn ethics. The value predisposition perspective, it argues that individuals bring with them a similar set of societal values into the police field when they come. On the other hand, the value learned perspective argues that police values are learned on the job through a socialization process within a particular agency. So that says that you come on and you learn your values by working with other officers and the things that department shows you. In this chapter, I want you to recognize traits that would attract people to the law enforcement field and into the preconceived notion that what police work entails. What are their notions, their preconceived notions about what police work entails before they go into the job? I've included a video about police officers talking a little about that. So listen to that after you do a couple of your assignments. I think it's pretty interesting to some of the things that we've got going on in this chapter. I'd like for you to understand the distinct occupational phases that an officer experiences during his or her career. Also, I want you to apply Sherman's concept of moral career. Sherman's concept of moral career to police ethics. Understand the differences between a culture and a subculture. Recognize the historical, cultural, and economic factors which influence police officers and their values, not just police officers in general, but which influence police values. The moral career is described by Sherman on pages 62 and 63. His theory is that it consists of three different aspects: contingencies, moral experiences, and the apologia stage. Contingencies, moral experiences, and the apologia stage. Read over that table that's on page 63 and understand the experiences connected with those aspects. Also, for an example, a moral predisposition for a prospective officer would be something like they want to come on to make the world a safer place to live, and that's certainly a noble cause. Certain areas of law enforcement are more prone to corruption, and this is on the quiz, is the reason I want to bring it up. And those areas that are a little bit more prone to corruption are areas like vice and narcotics. When I worked for the Missouri State Highway Patrol, I worked as an undercover officer in the narcotics division, and I can see where that would happen because you're literally handed money and cash that you've got to account for. But when you're working undercover, you're going out and you're buying things, and that cash is hard to account for, and you're getting involved with people that are bad, and you've almost got to become one of them. So I can see how that would happen. Um, Also, use of force, and that's always a topic, and especially right now with the things that are going on in the news. It's a typical topic when discussing ethics. One thing I want you to understand, that there must be use of force in law enforcement. You can't overuse that, and it gets abused, obviously. But there has to be use of force. Without that, you can't do your job. It's just when the line is crossed with the use of force to subdue or arrest, and when it crosses into criminal behavior by the police officer, that the ethics is violated. Use of force isn't even always the last resort. Sometimes use of force has to be used to stop escalation or to even prevent a crime. So it's proactive. So don't think of use of force as always being bad. Sometimes it stops bad things from happening. Uh, Read over the key terms listed in your textbook and review all the material provided before you take the quiz. I've also included a short video that I talked about earlier with police officers telling why they wanted to do the job. And I think it's interesting. So look over those things, listen to this lecture a couple of times. I think I've discussed a couple of things that's on the quiz, but if you need me after that, still call me anytime. Thank you. Have a great week.